Hello everybody, SmallTreeLeaf here, and today we're going to be repotting my juniper bonsai tree. Give you a slow rotation of it real quick. As you can see, it's the foliage is pretty dense on this side, but I still really like the look of it. However, it's been quite some time since I last repotted it, as you can kind of see here. The roots are all exposed and they're all dry and crinkly, and it's just time to repot this thing. So, we're going to start by snipping these wires. Pull them apart. That'll free the tree up. Then, just going to pull out the tree. See here. It's kind of stuck on in there. Just give it a nice tug. Eventually, come up like this. We'll look underneath, cut the wire down here. Free that up. Now, it should come right out. Let's pull these wires out. There we go. Pull this one out here. Go and pull this one out. Alright, now that all the wires are out, the tree is pretty free here and it's really dry. So I'm going to grab this mesh down here that was covering the holes, and we want to get this nice and, well, first we want to break all this dirt away. Actually, let's move the turntable. Alright, so we want to break all this dirt up. And get as good as we can. And I'm going to dunk it in some water real quick. Dunking it in water, you want to keep the roots moist at all times. Mine was dry. I was about to water it, so I'm just going to repot it instead. And so after dunking it in water here for a couple seconds, bring it back and continue to try to break up some of this mulch and dirt all up in here. The fertilizer out, kind of get the roots all spread out, really. This is the first time I've actually repotted this particular tree. So it's the first time I've ever seen the root ball. It's very interesting. It was in that cramped up little pot, so the root ball is extremely dense on this side and really loose on this side. Interesting. So we're gonna kind of take this apart, trying to get out all the mulch and other stuff. So get that out. Untangle that. Kind of expose that all out. I don't think any of that's gonna come. Pull this out. Alright, we're gonna put this back in the water real quick. Alright, and now for the next step, you're gonna have to prepare a pot for the tree. I already have one picked out. It shall be this nice blue one here. So, first thing we're gonna do is take that mesh that was at the bottom of the other pot, clean out all the dead roots stuff, and place it right over these holes. This will prevent dirt and rocks and other stuff from falling through the holes every time you water your plant. So they're really nice to have. Next, we're going to take some pre-mixed potting soil 1/3 academia, 1/3 pumice, and 1/3 black lava, with a bit of decomposed granite and charcoal. So I'm gonna take a nice little layer, a couple inches at the bottom. You don't want too much of this. This will provide nutrients to your plants slowly as their roots extend to the bottom of the plant. So put that in there. Probably a little bit too much. We take some out. Oh, screen moved. See, all the rocks are getting through. You're gonna want to put the screen back on. Put rocks on top of that. Let me take another handful out. Pinch out. Alright. Screen is giving me a hard time here. Let's see. Put that down. Move all these out the way. Put that down. Okay. That's good. Next, we're going to put some soil. Sorry, didn't want to get too far away. I use this mulchy type of soil. So we're going to start. Take a handful of it. And we're going to plop it down on it. Take another handful. Put that on in. I'm gonna pause right there on that. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some wire. I'm gonna feed it up through the bottom of the pot. And this is going to help secure the tree in place, because right after you repot anything, pretty much, it'll be really loose in the pot and it could fall out, and so you want to kind of secure it with some metal wire here. So we're going to take 2 strands of this, get them the same length. Just cut that. Kind of angle them in a U. And just going to pick the pot up and feed it through the bottom of the pot, just like that. Let's see. Alright, and once you have both ends, you just want to kind of pull it. Now, it might, like you just saw there, it might pull that wire mesh up, so you just want to put some pressure on that so it doesn't do that. Pull them through and make them even. Kind of put them at a diagonal across the pot. And you're going to do the same thing with the other 2. So, just going to slide that right on in. And take the other one and slide that on in. Pull them through. Remember to hold tight there so the wire mesh doesn't come back up. Alright, and once they're about even, lay them diagonally the other way. Alright, awesome. So, this is a nice little bed for our plant, for our tree here. Our juniper. So we're going to take our juniper tree. Now in some repottings, you can cut the roots. I'm gonna opt not to cut any of these roots because it was in such a tiny little space in the first place. The roots are pretty tight and compact. I want to let those grow out, and this is kind of just a solid root ball. That would be difficult to cut. So I'm just going to kind of place it in here, but right before that, I'm going to take some of the water that it was sitting in. Now it's a little dirty, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to pour it in, get this soil nice and wet. Once that's kind of, because you don't ever want to put when you repot, you don't ever want to put a tree into completely dry soil. So you want to get that nice and wet. Now we're going to place the tree right in here. We're going to take another handful of soil and spread that around. Another handful. And just place that in there. Now we're going to water that down, get that all nice and wet. Alright, looking really good there. Now see all the water coming out the bottom, that's all fine. Take another handful of soil. And we're just gonna put it nice around here. Alright, that is looking really good. Rinse my hands off real quick. Alright, so this is what we have so far. Oops, sorry, a little bit too high there. So the last step here, and this can be difficult, sometimes it's difficult and sometimes it's easy, is you just want to cross these wires and secure the plant in place. So you kind of want to, here, let me rotate it around here. Take the two that were diagonal from each other, pull them tight, and then just give it a little twist there. Give it a nice little twist and pull it, kind of pull it tight as you twist. And then after you twist for a little bit, take the ends and just snip them off. Take this and just tuck it into the dirt and it disappears out of sight. Now we're going to take the other two, pull them around, pull them nice and tight, start giving it a little twist, twist it around a few times. Make sure that's all nice and tight, push that on up. And then we're just gonna cut the ends, push that all nice and tight, and tuck it under the soil there. Out of sight. This is pretty close to the final result. All we're gonna do now is give it one more water and make sure all the soil gets nice and wet. You don't want any dry soil right after you repot. So, another watering there, and that looks really good. And not right now because this is just my workstation, but when I have this in its final resting spot on my shelf outside, it'll have a little drainage tray here to catch all the water and provide it a little bit of extra humidity. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe down below. If you haven't already, check the link in the description to view my website, SmallTreeLeaf.com.